So here it is then, the 6th generation Mercedes E Class. Let's first take a look at the exterior because, as you might be able to tell, it's definitely an evolution of the outgoing car, but this one's bigger, taller and wider than ever before. Mercedes says the new E Class features classic proportions, and from the side it certainly has that typical 3-box shape we've become accustomed to seeing on Mercedes' executive saloon. This and an upcoming estate model will be the only E-Class body styles, as Mercedes has decided to ditch the 2-door cabriolet and coupe E-Class, with the CLE designed as their replacement. In terms of design, you can see that the E-Class has been heavily influenced by Mercedes' range of EQ models, especially at the front, where the grille and headlight arrangement sort of flow in together as one complete unit, as we've seen on the EQE, the all-electric alternative to the E-Class. That grille can actually be illuminated at night, which would certainly help you stand out from other E-Class models. There's one trim level, the sportier AMG line. This features a sportier body kit, and the Mercedes 3-pointer star is integrated into the grille. The exclusive and avant-garde trim levels aren't coming to the UK. Despite being bigger than ever, the E-Class actually has a very low drag coefficient, and that's helped by these aerodynamically optimised wheels, the flush-fitting door handles, and a very smooth front end. Traditionally, the E-Class has always been the luxury-focused alternative to the BMW 5 Series and Audi A6. Here we can see that there's a lot of influence taken from the EQS and the S-Class, although this isn't actually the hyperscreen, this is a new super screen, because the driver's instrument here is separated from the screen itself. The overall screen is actually smaller than you get in the hyperscreen, but it's still pretty impressive. It uses the latest MBUX system, which is Mercedes' personal infotainment system. Here you can actually use the voice assistant without the prompt of "Hey Mercedes." You can just say, "Turn the climate control on," and it will turn it on if there's no one else in the car. Lots of other details we've seen in other Mercedes products recently. This steering wheel, the door-mounted seat controls, this opening center console, and the split opening armrest are all things we've seen before on Mercedes. We've already said that the E-Class is bigger than ever before, and the wheelbase is extended by 22mm, which has freed up a lot more space inside the cabin. Boot space remains the same, however, as the old model at 540 litres, which drops to 370 litres for the plug-in hybrid versions. The E-Class is now fully electrified across its engine lineup, with mild hybrid power and plug-in hybrid power. There's no all-electric version, with that being provided by the EQE. Starting with the mild hybrid E200, it's a 4-cylinder, 2-litre petrol engine mated to a 17 kW electric motor with 204 brake horsepower and 320 Nm of torque. Next up is the E220D, and yes, Mercedes hasn't given up on the diesel E-Class, and here it's a 2-litre turbocharged unit with that same 17 kW motor, developing 197 brake horsepower and 440 Nm of torque. Mercedes claims up to 73 miles of electric-only range for its plug-in hybrid models. On this E300e, it comes with a 25.4 kWh battery, which is mated to a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine with 312 brake horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. Now, we all know that some special AMG versions of the E-Class are in development, but so far the range topper will be the E400e plug-in hybrid, which comes with 381 brake horsepower and 650 Nm of torque, which is enough for a 0-62 time of 5.3 seconds and a 155 mph top speed. Despite the longer wheelbase of the new E-Class, the turning circle is able to improve on the outgoing model's 11.6 metres. With the optional technology package, the rear-wheel steering actually brings us down to 10.8 metres in rear-wheel drive versions. That same package includes Mercedes Airmatic suspension, which comes with adjustable damping and air springs. There's no word on pricing yet for the new E-Class, but when it launches we expect it to start from around £50,000. There's also no word on the estate model yet, but we expect that to be coming later on in the year. What do you think of the new E-Class?